One of the city's weapons in the war on drugs is 2.5-year-old Elsa. The German Shepherd is part of Reno's drug interdiction unit, along with her police officer partners.
The dog that we use in the interdiction unit is a single-purpose dog. So her only job is to smell drugs. That's the only thing she's trained to do. Now, some of our other canines are trained in patrol efforts, people searches, and drugs. But when you isolate the dog's job to just drugs, it's way more successful. That's the only job she has. That's what she likes to do. She's rewarded every time she finds drugs, so she's really working for a reward.
The drug team stops the flow of drugs to and through Reno. One of the team's regular stops is the Amtrak station downtown.
Reno is not a hub city necessarily for distribution, but definitely a pass-through city. We have Interstate 80 running right through Reno, and a lot of the drugs coming out of California and headed eastbound come through Reno.
Bring it on!
Is that thing going to go back on if he isn't carrying?
Yeah, he just got a little bit. We're going to let him travel. It's a misdemeanor amount, so okay. Elsa, come on. Soup. Soup. Elsa, soup. Good girl. Good girl. No, I haven't got it yet. I'm one guy.
It's go time.
Okay, come on.
Good girl. Let me search now. Hey, good.
All aboard! Joe, he's got a...
Huh? Do you remember his name?
No, we didn't ask.
Was it Mary?
No.
Andy? He's got a bunch of oxys.
You want him off? What's his name?
Yeah, he's got a ton of them.
Got some marijuana, which is not the big deal. You know, we were really just willing to take that and confiscate this. But since he's got about 3 different prescription meds in here, one being Oxycontin, which is a controlled substance. So basically he's going to be arrested for possession of controlled substance, and that's it. We have an option to charge for transporting, but he's been really cooperative, just in charging for possession of the controlled substance, which being Oxycontin.
In this case, the gentleman who was caught with drugs cooperated with the police.
Before they even deploy the dog, they have to have some sort of a reasonable suspicion to believe that there's drugs there. And so they'll take some of the indicators of a drug courier that they find, and once they gather enough information regarding the subject themselves, and they ask for permission to search, and if they don't get permission to search, then they'll deploy the dog, and the dog will sniff the packages, and then if the dog alerts, then they'll work on search warrants and making sure that we do it all, you know, within the confines of the Constitution.
The drug interdiction team frequents the Greyhound bus station in hopes of finding more drugs and more drug money.
Bring it on!
The team also regularly checks packages that come into Reno by way of FedEx at the company's headquarters here in Southeast Reno. Overall, the team has been hugely successful. Just this one room in one of the police department's evidence buildings is packed with marijuana and other drugs. There are suitcases full of weed and confiscated pot plants.
If you took the street value of all the drugs they've seized, just the interdiction unit, 2 guys and a dog, and you put the street value to those drugs, it'd be about $4.5 million in street value. And then about $1.2 million in cash seizures.
You wonder how someone could bring this much marijuana on a bus or a train, but honestly, when it's packed in this plastic, you can't even smell the marijuana. That's why dogs are so important to this operation.
Yeah, the dogs are really vital. I mean, you saw some of the packaged marijuana that was in the other room, and humans can't really smell that But the dogs don't have any issue smelling that. Their sense of smell is 10,000 times better than a human's sense of smell. And so when we put a dog on a package or on a piece of luggage, if there's drugs in there, the dog will alert.
Reno's drug interdiction unit started with a grant and is now self-funded. It is part of a bigger team that includes the Washoe County Sheriff's Office and Nevada Highway Patrol. The money confiscated during a drug bust goes back into the program. As for the confiscated drugs, once a criminal case is finished, the drugs go up in smoke.